Okay. Uh, that mapping sheet I will check first one more time. I have taken only few. We have the email, right? Good. What is this? Your email ID? Hmm? But like we have done few more updates to it. Those things. Okay. Okay. So we have few details. IC number and ship to customer, bill to customer. We have to take the details. So yesterday what I had done is I had taken one PPT. So I'll go through that. This. Hmm. Okay. Okay. First we'll see again like so the EDA concepts for your understanding. So what is EDA and like why do we need EDA? One second, sorry. Hello, Radha. వెళ్ళిపోయావా?
దూరం వెళ్తాను.
ఓకే ఓకే సరే మరి జాగ్రత్త క్లాస్లో. Okay, this will be the agenda. So we'll see again what is EDA overview. And like as you know, like EDA is a electronic data interchange. So where we don't need to do any manual intervention, everything will go as a automatic way. So both the systems will be configured. So customer will send the data and you will receive it automatically. And again, you will send automatically whenever the data is ready. So what you have to think is like when you have to trigger the event. For example, you want to place an order. When you want to place the order, okay, or if you want to send the order response, so when it has to send the order response, everything you have to take care of. But like the triggering and all, it will go as an automatic. You can send it as a batches, for example, like for every 30 minutes, for every 1 hour, you can make all the documents together and you can send all together, or immediately whenever the response is ready, you can send for partner by partner, or you can do it as a batches also. That up to you. Because for example, so in my previous organization, like how we used to get is incoming data, whatever you are receiving from the customer, that won't be in your hand, correct? So it will come automatic. So for example, like I have 100 partners, so 100 partners will send the data parallelly, so I don't have the control there. Whenever I receive the data, what I do, I will load into my system, so which is a real-time data. Once the customer sends the EDA, so it has to reach you immediately, there is no waiting. Okay, so immediately it will reach, which will call it as a real-time data. Okay, there is no waiting inside, but waiting will come when you're processing that particular data, so it reached your system. Okay, for example, take as order. Okay, customer send the order, he received it but did not confirm it yet. In order to confirm, you have to check the data, you have to validate the data. Okay, and you have to check availability and then send the response. Okay, so whenever you receive the EDA, so first there will be one acknowledgement goes back. Okay, so there will be two acknowledgements. Okay, one is a functional acknowledgement and one more we call it as a MDL, whatever the EDA message you are receiving. So the immediate, so the response going back to them will be the MDL, we'll call it as EDINT MDL or MDN, message disposition notification. So what it does, whenever you receive the document, you'll send the MDL. That means you received the document. So it won't tell you whether the process successful or failed, nothing. Okay, so that tells it reached the other side. Okay, and one more will go, we'll call it as a 997 functional acknowledgement for the each EDA document that you will send while you processing, getting it. Once the data is proper, then you will send the 997. Okay, so two acknowledgements actually, one for the message and one for the transaction. Okay, and we have so many EDA standards, but most of like people used is ANSI, X12 and Unedified, and we have seen the different type of codes to do that. Okay, and so there will be main, standard, Unedified or ANSI. So once you have the standard, then there will be versions for the each transaction. For example, currently we are in the 978 something. So there may be some changes where they will release a new version. Okay, so few partners will be having the old version, few partners will be having the new version. So when you are installing a document, you have to take care of all this. And last time we have seen how to create a document and all, but again we'll see one more time. Okay, transaction set is nothing but what transaction you are referring to, whether it's order, order response, change order, like that. Okay, and each transaction will be having the EDI message with this. Each line will call it as a segment. Okay, segment again will be having the fields and then subfields. So there will be identifier for segment, field, and subfield. Okay, so and then if you see that x12 as a main, okay, there will be order, right? First there will be header, body, and then again line level details. Inside body you can say again header and lines. So there will be multiple lines to it. So these are the important segments they have described. ISA, IEA starts with ISA, ends with IEA, and then inside GSG group level segmentation. Okay, and then body level ST starts. Okay, SC end, and then BEG, PO0. All these are the details inside the ST and SC. So this BEG is for the transaction. How do you refer? Okay, so this is a sample message. How your, so this will be your header ISA. So your interchange envelope, we will also call it as a interchange envelope. Envelope means cover letter. So what it does is cover letter. So who is the sender, who is the receiver? From to you'll be having, right? So the similar way. So who is the sender, who is the receiver? That's what the information it contains. Sender, receiver, okay, and like when they sent it, and then what is the what do you call this interchange control number, ICN number. WM training, TRAINIG, shit. Apapun TRAINIG. Okay, so here this will be an interchange control number, we'll call it as. So which will be the unique identification for your document. And then group level. So this is the transaction. PO means purchase order. For other transactions you will see the different key. But instead of going with this, so go with this ST segment always. ST segment, ST01 will be always having a number, the transaction number which you want. 850 is, sorry, purchase order, correct. 850 is the purchase order. So this message identifies this a purchase order from receiving one partner to the another partner. Okay, and then B is a segment. It has a unique identification for your transaction. We'll call it as a PO number also. So how do we know like how to read the segments and all? So you have to go with their specification. Whoever sending, okay, they will have their own specification how they are sending it, and each segment what information they have it. Okay, based on the segment, you will create a mapping sheet, and mapping sheet will be having something like this. So mapping sheet means like you are reading the data. So you know what data you needed from the backend. So you will take the backend data and you will create a mapping sheet. So whether that field is a optional or mandatory, and so you will find out which field it is from the data. Once you know that, like, you'll start writing the code. Only the mapping sheet is the important, because this is where it will tell like what are the mandatory and what are not mandatory. Hello, Aruna, able to hear me? So once you complete the mapping sheet, then based on this mapping sheet, you will start the coding. Okay, so how to create a VDA schema and then dictionaries and all. So we have seen already, but I will do it one more time. So first what we'll do, those are the tabs. So we'll go to solutions, EDA, okay, and then enable deprecated packages. Arna, can you be on mute? I'm hearing my voice back. Okay, thanks. So this 10 will be having the weird, okay, so you can take that. So install TN documents, you have to do enable deprecated pages, and it will enable install TN doc types. Okay, so once you go to install TN document types, you can check what is the transaction. So for example, you want to have a ANSI X12, you will select X12. Okay, and then what do we do here? So we'll install like, so I can check version here also. We'll take 4010. Okay, X12 version is 4010 and transaction set is 850. So customer will tell you that. So which transaction, which version, and which standard they're using it. Okay, the specification will be having it. So maybe we can check that. So right, this is the sample specification. This is their message. I mean like 4010 and 850. Good. Yeah. add document type definition to a trading network. So once I click this, so you can check there will be one package called the WMEDA for TN. Okay, so WMEDA. So this will be having all the services related to EDA, like how do you want to convert your message, okay, and other things. So this will be having the built-in services part to handle your message. WMEDIINT. So this will be having the what the services related to, like if you want to send, if you want to receive, okay, you want to restart some transaction. All these services will be here, and then you can see few more utilities. So if you want to create MDN and then other things. And WMEDA for TN. This is the placeholder for all your dictionaries, schemas, and documents of the EDA. So wait a second, still loading it. So as of now, it has only trade comps, and then others we don't need. See, so as of now, what I have, so I have only under EDFF schema, I have only trade comps. So what we are doing now, so we're installing X12 of the 850 message. So once I click on add document type definition to trading network, okay, so install TN document types. So document type is set to TN successfully. So what I do, I'll come here, I'll reload my package. Says see, there is a folder created with the X12 because we are creating X12 the first time. Okay, so and then under X12 you created one more version called the 4010. For this 4010 there will be one dictionary created. So this dictionary is always with the version. So only first time when you create the particular version, it will create the dictionary. Okay, so now we have the dictionary of the 850. If you create one more document, for example, say 860 with the 4010 version, that time it will add only the dictionary, only the schema, not the dictionary, because the dictionary is for all the transactions inside 4010. Getting it? So it will go on adding up it. So from here, so it will be regular flat file handling for us. So what do we do, like after creating a flat file? What will be the first step we do? So yeah, you created the flat file now. Okay, what will be our next step? Yep. So you have to create a document type from the dictionary. So what you do? So you'll open the schema, and then so see this EDA document. Earlier we have seen the delimiter, fixed length, and variable length. So this will be automatic type of EDA document type. And then we go to the flat file structure and then create a document. Why it's saying copy, no copy?
After that, to join meeting, drive down. Right there.
And put it somewhere here. Okay. So after clicking this, so it will create a document. But whatever the document you have here, it starts from ST. It's like only the body you will be having it, because for all the ANSI messages, that ISA, GS, IEA, SE, IEA, so this will be common. Okay, header never changes anytime. Only the body, for example, you are receiving 850, only the details related to 850 will change. If you are receiving 860 details will change. Remaining are the standards, header part. So you have to handle header part once, but based on the transaction type, you have to handle the transaction details. So you have to use two different schemas. Okay. So
document includes group set and transaction set.
Correct. So group set you have to handle it separately. Group set are like header level details, and then so this one you have to handle it separately. Okay, this is for the each transaction you will create one document, but header level you will be having only a single document and single service. Okay, it never changes. For example, if you are receiving 860, the first two segments will always say who is the receiver, who is the sender, what is the ICN number, okay, what is the group control number for it. But only what changes is inside. So this will be a single document, correct? It's not a list. So if you want to make it as a list also, you can make it based on your requirement. For example, some customers will send only a single ST segment. For example, for one EDA file, they will send only one PO number. Some customer will say like, I will send multiple EDA multiple POs inside a single. So they will say multiple ST segment. How do you find that? So you can go here. Yes, ST. See here. You'll say max is 1. He will send only one ST segment in his document. Maybe some other customer, he will say unlimited or 200, 300 like that. Getting it? So you have to check that, because like you should not do for a only for this particular customer. You have to think about the different scenarios and then start developing, because this is the first time you are doing it, right? So always what we do is like whatever this customer needed, we'll try to do it. But if you think like tomorrow one more partner is coming up on the same transaction, you are doing the rollout. So let's say he wants multiple here, not a single document. He wants multiple. So that time it will be difficult, because you have to write the same code, or like again you have to change the schema, and again you do the retest for the both the partners. If you do it now itself to enable the multiple ST segments, tomorrow it will be easy for you. Okay. So what we do is like we will create multiples. If he sends one, we'll read one. If there is like multiple, then we'll read the multiple also. Not a problem. So what is the property we have to change?
Max repeat.
Correct. So this max repeat is 1 here. We'll make it to unlimited. So I will save the schema. So you won't be able to change the document. Whatever the change is required, you have to change in the schema, and you have to recreate the document. Okay, whenever the document is already existing, you won't be able to create it. For example, this document is exist, right? See what it says when I click this. It says this document is already exist. So what you have to do? You have to delete this and then recreate it. Okay, now it's showing as a multiple ST. Clear? So now what you have to see the other one also, no? Okay, so this is the one which it will have ASA GS, STGE, IA segment. This is the schema. What do we do is, instead of maintaining here, we'll have one copy here, and we'll create our own package and we'll store it there. Well, yeah, we will maintain the same 4010 because this kind of backup. Okay, this will be the recent what you do. We'll copy from here. Delete it and paste it here. Okay. Until like what we have done is like I have done the changes here, correct? So I changed the schema instead of changing here. So it will be good if you change here because this is your customization. This is what it comes with the product. Okay, so this will be for your reference. Like this was earlier, and I changed like this. And tomorrow, if there is any change, for example, I'm changing the schema again, so that max repeat I did, right? So I want to put the backup also. So what you can do, so you can copy the same, okay, and you can rename it. Some like whatever the name you want to remember. For example, date you can give, or like some word where you can identify with the change. Date will maintain 21st. Okay, tomorrow like if I need some changes like food and that, and I can check it up free. Now we have the document and we have the header details also, correct? Yes.
You created a document type now.
All right.
I mean, sorry, document list.
Hmm.
You close that.
This one?
How did you extract that?
Hmm?
How did you extract that?
This one?
I mean, you close that one ICA kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, okay, I see. That I searched here.
Okay.
So this external, this is the header.
Right.
Okay. This is what we need also. This is for the header message handling, correct?
Okay, it's predefined, huh?
It's inside the WMEDA.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay, multiple ISA and multiple ST. So you have EDA messages. Okay, so let's like we have seen how you will receive the EDA message, correct? What is the service you will give it to the partner? So you'll give one service. There will be one service which you'll give to the partner. Partner will post the data to that particular service. Okay, that service will send to TN. From TN, again it will call the processing rule. From the processing rule, it will be called one more service, or like whatever the action you have defined it. So to process this EDA message, you don't need the TN also. Okay, let's say like it's a regular flat file. So you can handle it in the without a TN also. But only the advantage we have with the TN is the partner administration plus the data archival. Okay, so you don't need to check the partner availability, like whether the partner is configured or not. All the details it will take care of, and then auto archival of the data. And like if we have some steps, so it will make it happen. The same steps to be happen. Okay, first important thing is we have to give a service to the partner, right? Let's say like we have given a service. Which service will give? ED and receive, right? Okay, so this is the service which will give it to the customer. So before going to the customer, the first step, what in the customer interaction, what will be our steps, step by step? For example, we are doing a EDA first time. So what will be the first step? So when you're onboarding a new partner, so there will be a list of steps which you have to follow. First one will be the partner profile exchange. So you have to exchange your profile with the partner, and you have to take the partner profile. Okay, once you receive the partner profile, you will check what is the data they're expecting. Okay, so how we have to set the data. So do we have that support or not as of now? So all these things we have to discuss there in the partner profile. Let's say partner profile is fine and we are okay to send the data to particular network. Then we'll start the connectivity testing. So connectivity testing means like whether you are able to connect to their server or not. So if you want to post the data, first you have to connect, right? So initially there will be a firewall setup has to be done. Okay, you have to allow their network into your system, and like so they have to allow your IP into their network. So all these things has to be happen. So you will see the connectivity testing. Okay, in the partner profile exchange itself. So before connectivity testing happens, the mapping sheet preparation or spec. So transaction specification review. You will read their message and you will check whether it will be, for example, say like customer is sending 10 fields, but you need the 15 fields. So those 5 are mandatory. Without those 5, you won't be able to proceed further. Then that time we'll send to the partner saying like, so these 5 fields are missing. You'll be able to send it. So let's say like they have anything related to the data, they won't be able to provide it. Okay, that time like there won't be any use after development also. Correct. So first you'll check the transaction specification and then we'll see whether it's feasible or not. So we'll call it as a feasible review also. Once then we'll go to the connectivity testing. Okay, and then mapping sheet also you'll prepare that. So once you done and you are comfortable, then you'll go at the connectivity testing. So with this connectivity testing will tell whether you are able to connect to the partner. You will send some test message and then you'll check whether you are able to reach and they're able to receive that particular message. It's not original message. Okay, it's a dummy message. You'll send some junk message saying that like whether you are able to connect to their system or not. So only that. So and then you'll start the development part. And then give a production. Okay, so all these things will be happen. So first when you exchange the partner profile, so you'll see the partner profile looks like this. Okay, so they will say what is their contact details, so where you need to post the data. Okay, so whenever you see this EDNT receive, right, WM keyword, and you'll assume they're using the web methods. Okay, all the partners, like it's not sure like other partners also has to use the web methods. They can use their own EDA tool. What you need, you have to receive the message. There are so many tools available in the market. So web method is one of the tools. But if it is a web methods, it will be easy for us because we know how they will set up the partner data. We know how to set up. For example, when connected testing, some problems happens, we both can dig into it and then resolve the issue. But if they are using some other system which we don't have any idea, then again you have to set up like 3 to 4 meetings and then you have to do like which parameter is changing. So we'll use our parameters like this, and they'll be having their own parameters, maybe in a different way. So that they have to take care of. Okay, so and these are the different addresses of them, and then they'll send the certifications if they have any, and all the details. So we'll create a partner profile from starting. And one more thing to tell you. Okay, so here administration, integration, B2B, document types administration, and document types. So you have added the document from the integration server, right? So you went to that solutions EDA and then you added the textual 850 4010. So you can do it from here also. Okay, you can select a standard. So for example, say X12. Okay, version, which version? 4010. So which transaction? Let's say like 850, we already have 860 now, or 855 order response. Okay, so when I say create, okay, so the document will be created, and if I come up here, W medium for TN, as of now I have only 4010 850. I will reload. Refresh also will be fine. Not a problem. You see the 855, right? So this is the another way of installing the EDA document. So you can do it from the IS administration or MWS administration also. And then, so first step is partner profile creation, right? Partner administration, partner profiles. So partner onboarding, this is a automated process. Like for example, you want to ask customer some specific information, like how do we need in the partner profile. You can create Excel from this and you can send to the partner. So you can ask them to fill the Excel and send it back. And you can send direct emails also from here. Okay, for all those you need settings, not required now. So create a partner profile. So for example, first when you're creating partner profile, first it should be yours, right? So there should be your profile first. So we'll call it as enterprise, my enterprise, which is my profile. So you are creating your own profile here. Add ID. Okay, so the external ID means like how you will be identified outside. So you need some space ID identified. Okay, that should be used by only you, not the others. Unique identification number for you. Okay, so we'll call it as a ID. We'll add not the DUNS number. We call it as a AS2 ID. Okay, so this is the AS2 ID which we'll use. For example, say we'll use 123, 1234.
Anything in here?
EDNT AS2 ID, you can use anything. Okay, but DUNS number, you have to get approval from the DUNS. There will be one company called the DUNS. You have to register with that company and they will give you the unique ID.
What is brand shift?
Correct.
Brand shift. What does it mean?
The company name itself, it will comes like that.
Done some brand.
Done some
Brand
something. The company name itself. So that's company name itself, DUNS. DNB DUNS number. DNB. We'll call the company name is DNB. Okay, so that's one company which will give unique identification to the other companies. So if you have DUNS number, you can use the DUNS number also, and you have your own customized identification also, you can add it. Okay, we use the EDNT AS2 for the AS2 partners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I added the ID, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then address, your address, and you can contact. It's not mandatory, optional fields. And the partner group membership also not required. Delivery settings is important. So delivery setting means like if the other customer are sending the data, how do you want to receive it, or how you will send it. So this one I want to add a delivery method as a HTTPS or HTTP. Primary HTTP, host will be local host, okay, and port is 5555, and then location. So the service, which service he has to call. So service is receive, right? Receive service. This for the inbound. So where the customer has to post the data. You didn't receive. I don't need any username and password. Corporation. Your company name. If you're working for some company, you can use some company name. These extended fields, make it as a EDNT because we are dealing with the ED message. Okay, so we are using the delivery method as the primary HTTP. If you want to compress your message, you can make it as a compression true. And if you have any encryption, you can do the encryption also. If you are using FTP, you can give the FTP username. Request MDN. So we need the synchronous MDN will make it. Okay. Request signed receipt. No. Signed receipt means it will ask for the certificates. So like we are doing simple, we don't need now. Sign and encrypted or anything is okay. We'll make it as a plain. Okay. So this is important. So if one of the field has changed here, you won't be able to receive the message properly. Okay. So all these details, even your partner will give you in the profile. So compression format not used. MDN delivery of synchronous or asynchronous, which type of MDN he wants. Okay. So all those details you have to specify here also. User certification permissions not required. Okay. So you complete like control number. If you want to generate from 1 to this partner, you can add it here. So this will always IC number will be a random number. Some customers don't want a random number. They want to generate from 1 for the tracking purpose. They want to start with 1, like for first message whatever we sent 1, and then 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay. So that time you can set up here. So partner as sender or partner as receiver. Partner as sender, because when you send outbound, you have to do that. Okay. And then sender, who is the sender, who is the receiver. Production mode, whether it's a production or done. So which standard is, which version, which group type. Okay. You can specify it. And duplicate detect window. So duplicates, if you want to check for each 100, you can check it out. So maximum this one. Once it completes, again it will go here. I'm not setting up here. Okay, now we completed our profile creation for our organization, correct? It's not enabled. So by default it's in the inactive state. I made it as a active because I have seen the thread mark, right? The thread mark is for the inactive. Is she following up? Okay, so we'll create a customer now. Make it as a customer 1. For him also we'll add an ID. Paste to ID. Okay. For us we gave 1, 2, 3, 4, right? For him 4, 5, 6, 7 I will give. So this we have to remember. Depth, delivery settings. It would be good if we have one more instance. Okay, as of now what I do, I'll create with our existing only. We'll try to figure it out. I will install one more today. Okay, so earlier I was having 2 integration servers and 2 MWS. So currently I have only 1.
You need to, right? No?
We need 2, but so we can send to the same server as a receiver and sender. So you can see both. Location. Yes, it would be good if you give slash here.
One should send and one should receive, right?
Correct.
In the location again have you receive.
Correct. So when this particular this is the same machine, right? Same machine, same sender, same receiver. So for example, say if you are sending some message, okay, so that will go and call this receive service. For example, from your my company is one profile and customer 1 is one more profile. Let's say you make as a my company as a sender. It will go to the receive of the service. Same.
But
if you want.
But I should use the send service over there, right? In my company.
No, send service you will use it in the flow when we are sending to TN. Once it reaches TN, so in send service you will say only who is the sender, who is the receiver. So there you won't specify it. So in partner profile only you will specify what the service he wants to receive. You don't talk about the send service, only the receive service. Okay, send service he will send to this. For example, he configured your profile, right? When he is sending the message, he will send to that whatever the service he configured. For example, you are sending. So there will be only one profile for the partner, not the 2 profiles. One for the sender, one for the receiver. There will be one. That's only for the receiving purpose. How the other partner receives it. Partner profile will contain the details how the other partner receives it. Okay. In send service also what you mentioned is only the sender ID and receiver ID. Once it goes TN, it will pick the whatever the delivery method you have given and it will send to that. That's your headache, like how to send it. For example, like if you use the sender as my company and receiver as a customer 1, it will be same service. Or what we can do is we will change this little. I will copy this service. We'll paste it again. Cannot perform operation without write a separate WM media entity because the WM folder whatever it's there, right? You won't be able to copy or edit anything inside that. So I can create it here. Get one more folder called the not the our service. Okay. So what I do, so this I will make it as per this customer. For customer, I'm saying this is the receive service. So what does it mean? When I send by using my company as a sender, this company 1 as a receiver, it will call this service. If I send a message with the company 1 as a sender, my company as a receiver, then it will go to EDNT receive service. Getting it or confused? Okay. So we have two partners, correct? My company is your company, correct? And we have company 1. Okay. So in this perspective, my company perspective, inbound means company 1 to my company, correct? Outbound means correct. So it will be reverse here. Correct. So let us say you are sending a document from my company to company 1. My company to company 1. So that means inbound for company 1. So you are sending a document from my company to company 1. So in this case, you are sending a document from my company. You are sending a document from my company. And what will be the receive service here for this? Our own created receive service. Because for company 1, we created our own. Let us say you are sending from my company to this. Okay. My company to company 1. My company to company 1. So in this case, what will be the service?
Our own service.
Correct. Correct. Receive service, our own service. Let's say like here, company 1 to my company. You are sending a document from company 1 to my company. So that time EDNT receive, because for my company, EDNT service is the receive service. So you always has to consider the target. Target how to receive it. So you have to only take care of that. So sending it will go automatically from there. Only send. So the same way here. I said okay. I said okay. And so we'll changes. Let it extended fields and then we'll start doing it. EDNT, primary HTTP, compression false, produce okay, synchronous right, and then request signed receipt false, and then this will make it as a plain. Save. Status active. Save and close edit. Okay, so I have two partners now. So what I do, let me get a sample message from internet. So as of now, we have not created any EDM message or did not read any EDM message. So we're just checking the connectivity, whether you are able to post the data or you are able to receive the data or not. It's the same which we have downloaded. Hmm. Let me check. Very easy. Okay. Segment terminator is missing. And ED message is not a single, it's not like this. It will be always in a single line. For a reading purpose, we'll make it like this. There should be some segment terminator, right? So here, like I will see PO4. There is no ending. Again, it started with the PO1. So that's why I'm making all with the some identifier. And all these terminators should not repeat in your data. They should be unique. Okay. So we'll make a single line. Single line document now. I'm creating one service. Okay. So we are sending as a outbound. The message or radio string. So which service you have to use to send the document? WMEDNT send step, send service. Okay. For the service, what are the fields required? Okay. Type, compression, delivery method, data, and all this. Let's see what it each means. So data, you have to send it in a string. So first you have to convert your string to string. Input will be this. The data will go up here. The type is plain, right? Compressed, false. We are not doing any compression. Delivery method is primary HTTP. And then data we then attachments, we don't have any attachments. Request MDN is synchronous. This you have to consider about the sender to whom you are sending it. But we have both the same parameter, so it's okay. Any confusion?
No.
Okay. So sender ID is, so I'll make it as a 1234, who is our company. From our company, we are sending to the partner. ID type is est. So EDNT space est, right? Or something else. Conversation ID, if you want to maintain, you can maintain it. It's not required. Control S. Okay. So what I am doing, I'm running this service. So you have to send the EDA string S. Okay. Type EDA intent. So we'll go to MWS. We'll go to monitoring, B2B integration, B2B transactions. We'll do search. Okay. So this is the message that received. Okay. Document type is EDNT document. And then sender is my company. Receiver is customer one. Saying done with error. We'll see that. Send message is error. So we're not able to send the message. There is some error. So if you want to see like what's exactly happened, you can do either this or you can click on this also. Okay. Here document persist, everything happened, but it's unable to send the document to that particular customer. You'll see why. No other messages. Not showing more the details. Okay, so we'll see. So first you will see here activity log means like what happens step by step. It will tell you. Okay, first so send EDA, and then routing rule selected. Okay, and then task was pending, and then service invoke this the service it invoked, and then processing task changed to delivery status change processing complete. Unable to send EDA into because the sender, I think that slash I did not put it there. I'll check. So the activity log will contain the step-by-step information for your EDA message, and then attributes. So specific to your document. How do you identify that particular document? Correctగానే ఉంది కదా. http://localhost 5555 service receive. I'll check. Give me a second. We'll check. Oh, customer one, not this. I think username and password has to be given there. ఎందుకంటే మనం so we have changed the Hmm. Unable to send only it's coming up. Okay, we'll check that later. Okay, attributes will be having the details related to your message, like some attributes. If you want to have a specific identification, we'll call it as like where you are sending the document, and then internal ID, how you will identify this particular ID in your trading network, and then tasks if any. And this is the one important. This content, you can see the actual message what you are receiving from the payload. UD document, whatever we send there, right? From the IS, whatever the document is sent, so the partner will receive like this. So you are checking as a partner now. Okay, so customer sent the data and you received it. So you will check the data like this. CDNT again, it will having like the transportation details. What is the message ID and other details. And these are the parameters. Sorry. Hmm. XML schema. Correct. Schema. We'll create your own schema. Because XML your customization, you can do your own customization. Well, has the default. Sorry. Hmm. There is no logs also much. Hmm. Maybe browser has a problem. The down it will display. What's exactly the issue? I'll install Chrome today and we'll check. And we'll see like why this showing us unable to send EDNT. Logs also it's not showing up. Maybe the service is the problem. Hmm. Hmm. Delivery to customer one. 446 correct. Well, delivery settings has the problem. Service colon receive only. Hmm. accepting. Oh, we are missing that invoke keyword. Slash invoke we are missing. Have to write that invoke, right? This invoke is missing. Correct. So from here it's done. Okay, send messaging for waiting MDN, but the MDN is not able to send because there is some issue with that. We'll check that. For we'll check for this because it's trying to find out the same mission, right? Maybe that's a problem. We'll find out one more instance and then we'll check. Any doubts as of now? How you will send the like final message what you did? So the processing part we yet to discuss. Okay, so what we have seen now is like how your data actually flows, the high level part. How you will prepare the message, we did not see yet, correct? Or how do you read the message, we not yet seen. But how the message will be transferred between the partners, we have seen as of now. So there will be one processing service which partner calls. Then so it will go to the TN. From TN it will check the sender receiver. Based on that, it will trigger the processing rule. From the processing rule, again if you have mentioned any action, it will come from that. Mhm. Okay, I'm closing the meeting. Yeah, it will come once it's processed. No, it won't save. It will send me an email after completing it.